I recently, yesterday, took my real estate exam for the third time and failed it. The first time I got a 71%, the second time I got a 73%. By the way, you need a 75% to pass, right? This is CE Shop. If you're in real estate, I'm sure you've heard of it. Continuing Education Workshop, I believe what it stands for. But you go through the course, 90 hours. It's a lot of information. So a couple years, and okay, yesterday when I took the exam again, I got a 71. So you can understand how frustrating it is. Look, I don't consider myself a stupid person, but at the same time, I know that I am not good at taking exams. I know that for sure. That was one of the reasons that I stopped my medical career, pre-med, 2 semesters of college left, biology degree, dropped out, all of this stuff. If you want, I am going to post a video talking about more of that. It's going to be linked in the description below. Check it out. There's more videos if you want more videos about my life story in the sense of what I specifically went through, my failures, my successes. I haven't had any major successes. I've had successes in terms of different things in my life, more personal success. Not yet. I have not yet accomplished monetary success yet. And that I think I had my priorities in the wrong spot in my life throughout majority of my life. When I was in school, I prioritized chasing women, chasing clout in the sense of trying to fit in. So most of my days in school growing up, when I should have been, paying attention in class, and keep in mind, everything happens for a reason. So if you also are, failing exams and shit hasn't gone right in your life, most of your life, let's just say, think back, a lot of stuff probably did go right. Sometimes shit happens in life and you start thinking about, fuck, man, why me? Why me? Why me? And, it just sometimes it does get hard because it's not easy to control your emotions. But you're not controlling your emotions, you are feeling them. But rather than smashing the keyboards on your laptop after failing the exam, or smashing the screen down and having a chance of the laptop breaking, isn't usually a good way to think. So usually whenever I have thoughts of breaking things after you get angry or you're feeling an emotion, usually in the past, I would have gotten angry for a very long period. And even now I am angry in the sense of it's frustrating having to redo the course again. Thankfully, I didn't have to. Usually, I thought I would have to pay the I think I was $500, I think, for the full package the first time I paid it. I believe it was around that, $300 to $500. Another reason of my stress was gonna be like, damn, I gotta buy this thing again. I gotta ask my mom to borrow money to buy this course again. But thankfully, I don't know, this was one good thing that happened. Thankfully, at the end of the exam, usually everywhere I've looked, people had to rebuy the exam. So I called them, asked them if there's anything they have for students, a couple points. I was a couple points off, 4 points off, 3 points off. It's very frustrating. Like, I was there, but even going into the exam the past couple days, I've taken so many practice exams, and I literally kept getting I kept getting 79s. Okay, this is on Prep Agent. It's another study type website to pass your exam. So I kept getting 79s. You need an 80 to pass on that, website. But on the actual exam, you need a 75. So in my head, I kept, 79. At first, it was 76. And the first few times I was thinking it was like a 69 because some of the information is a little bit more in depth in Prep Agent than it is on the actual CE, actual exam that I'm taking. So I'm thinking, okay, but at the back of my head, I don't want to keep getting a 79. I want to at least get an 80 or an 85, a 90, or 100% on these practice exams. I took almost 10 of them in the past week. But in reality, I should have been taking these exams a couple weeks before. Not all in the past. I shouldn't have taken a total of maybe 8 exams 4 days before my actual exam. You you should have, maybe I should have, you know, this is things you learn. And this is just a flow of my consciousness to you. Anyone watching this, if it's my future kids, if it's a random person who, you know, is in real estate, wants to go into it, is taking their exam, or is, you know, failing some other exam, because, you know, we all only hear about success stories. You only hear about people who have became a certain, let's say someone failed the medical exam 7 times, let's say. You know how many exams you have to take in medicine? This is another reason why, thankfully, I didn't go into medicine. I know that eventually I would have, if I went that direction, it would have taken me double the time, I think, or maybe extra 5 or 6 years. And medicine already is a long term. You're already spending 10 plus years before you're established. And even then you gotta, so imagine trying, there's like 10 different tests you have to take in your whole med student career, even in residence. And each of those, you know, there's step 1, step 2, step 3, and then there's boards in between rotations you have to take, and there's exams. So you could maybe retake a lot of them, but imagine having to pay hundreds of dollars, and then the stress, you already have loans of more hundreds of thousands of dollars that you're gonna have to pay eventually. And that just, I thought about all of that, and even failing this exam 3 times, I was like, okay, thankfully for real estate, there's only like 1 or 2 exams I have to pass. And obviously, if you know how to do real estate, the pay might be similar or more to what look, and another reason why I even wanted to do medicine was for the money. And when you're younger, you're kind of brainwashed as it being in the Asian household. Asian community really values money more than everything, and self-image and materialistic. Asian people are the most materialistic people ever. I mean, I don't have to explain it to you. You can just see for yourself. They're a lot of them are successful. A lot of them have their shit, and that's a good part of it, of being materialistic. You will have your shit financially figured out. But to what point? To what point maybe is having an expectation that all your kids just are super, super uber wealthy people. And, you know, in order to be that type of person, I mean, there's exceptions. There's ways, systems of becoming wealthy that isn't going to be like enslavement, isn't going to be getting a very high paying job in a corporation. Like there's this neurosurgeon who quit his job being a neurosurgeon. I forget his name. I think his YouTube name is Gooby Dooby. I watch a lot of his videos, and I'll be referring to his videos because he has inspired me in a way to make videos of my current, you know, what I'm feeling. And I relate to all of his psychedelic experience, the experience of bureaucracy, how bad it feels being in a bureaucratic system. And it's a lot. And sometimes, you know, it's good to be materialistic and achieve these goals, but there can also be a limit. There can also be different ways of achieving it that doesn't require going to school for 10 to 15 years and making you almost suicidal. Your hair starts turning gray. You start having digestive issues and, you know, start abusing drugs. Maybe you start getting prescribed Adderall from your doctor because, you know, you have to pass this medical school exam, and legally you can't do meth, right? But you can legally do meth, and the government and everyone around you will applaud you for doing meth. As long as you're doing something that is in sync with their view of what successful is, or what success is in our society. You know, I can tell people my son or my daughter or my this or my that is a engineer, or they're a doctor, you know, they're in med school. And I appreciate, you know, yeah, I haven't really taken an exam or studied for an exam in the past maybe 4 years. Last exam, I went back to school for a little bit, dropped back out. And now the past maybe 6 months plus, I've been just full on real estate studying to pass this exam. The first couple months I was, you know, going through the course. It's a lot of information. So when there's a lot of information, you are going to fail at first, and it's a new subject. So I went from being this pre-med biology, I'll talk about that in a separate video, and I'll maybe link it in the description below. Coming from that, all of my school, all of the homework, everything that I was forced to learn was biology. I did learn a lot. Up until my last 2 semesters of college when I dropped out. But it is interesting. I learned a lot. And obviously, in my head, the whole time, like, this is an example. When I was supposed to be studying for the ACT, remember ACT, SAT? I was studying for the MCAT. I was watching MCAT. I was learning anatomy stuff because I want to be a doctor. I should be studying for this now. I've always been studying for the thing that is not related to what I need. It is always usually something beneficial, thankfully. I'm not studying the maps of Minecraft or something, but it doesn't make sense to where I'm at currently in life. So most of my life, I've been pre-med, studying medicine in school, but on my free times, and even when I'm studying back in the day, doing homework for my pre-med classes, I would be listening or watching, always listening to a podcast. If you know me, you know that I have always had an earpod in my ear. And that's one of the reasons why I have had that issue, or people think it's an issue, is, growing up, ex-addict, sober now, you have a lot of demons in your head. And in order for you not to, to live another day peacefully and have some peace in your head, to quiet the noise of those demons, those thoughts in your head, memories, after, you've been through enough, after you go through enough breakup, after you've been through enough withdrawal from painkillers, after you felt that much pain, you're going to have some PTSD. So listening to something helped me distract myself. And doing that when I was doing my homework maybe wasn't beneficial to multitask, But recently, studying for this real estate, I can just shut everything off and just focus. And obviously, that's not just because I'm studying something I like. It's also because of the circumstances. I don't have pressure of paying rent currently. I don't have pressure of paying huge bills. My parents thankfully helped me out, and I'm very grateful for that. And if you have any help from anyone, I'm sure people have parents, and if you've moved out, it is no shame of moving back in for a little bit, figuring yourself out. And then once you've figured yourself out and you can make money, and I know life's not about making money, but right now, in order to create a life that I want, I need to be generating more income. And there's ways to do that. And in the past, I was programmed to believe that the only way to do that is this 10 to 15 year route of learning something that is interesting, and it is very cool to be, in the society, to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever education field. But if you want the life that I had been brainwashed to want, is going to be a little bit more than just becoming that. And I know it's possible. I've seen case studies of other people generating so much income in a month. And I don't even want to talk too much about that now, because I'll make videos about that in the future once I start my real estate career, and how I handle these contracts and deals and how the numbers work specifically. If you want videos like that, I can even start making that now, a separate account, with just how I'm studying for real estate. How, you get angry. But yesterday, when I failed it, I called them. Somehow they gave it to me for free, the whole course again. Now, obviously, it's annoying doing that whole course again. It took a long time. But I think that if I failed it 3 times, I should maybe learn it again. Even going into the exam yesterday, I was like, I should be getting at least an 80, 85 on these practice exams. I'm getting a 79, 78. A passing score is 75. I shouldn't be getting just a couple points above passing, okay? I should be feeling confident. And look, you only hear the stories of people passing. I know a lot of doctors, as in people in med school. My brother's in med school. My uncle recently became a doctor. And some people are good at taking exams and some people aren't, okay? Some people can just do it quickly, and others may take them more time. I believe that if you just keep doing it, keep taking that exam over and over again, and it's just because That's another thing. In real estate, I think it's also a lesson is that small percentages matter. I'm like, God, why? Just 2 points. I just needed 2 points. Last time I took out a 73. I needed 2 points to pass. Now I would have been, this is like a month ago almost. I would have been, you know, started working by now. But everything happens at a specific time, and I'll make more videos on that if you want. Everything, I do believe in the grand scheme of things, happened at a specific time for a specific reason. But I really deep down felt like I should learn more. I needed to learn more. This is a career that I'm going into. It's not like a test I just need to pass and, you know, I'm going to guess and pass. I need to know this stuff. If this is a career that I'm going to do, if you're studying for an exam that for a career that you're going to do, better off that if you fail it, take it as a, okay, thank God that I can at least see all the questions that I got wrong. Thank God. Some exams you have to wait days, weeks. Some medical school exams you have to wait weeks, maybe a month or two to get your score back. Could you imagine that? You don't even know what you got. So the turnaround rate for this exam, thankfully, I get the score right away. I have access to my answers. The speed of it's going to increase. I could not imagine waiting a week, 2, 3 weeks for an exam score. You don't even know how you did. Could you imagine that? And you don't have to do that just one time for med school. You have to do that over and over again. I commend people who have gone through med school. So, you know, I'm going to take this exam again. I'm going to keep doing it. I have 3 more attempts now, but this time I'm going to go through the course again, you know, speed it up. My girlfriend, my mom, everyone has been like, yo, we can help you, you know, click through the exam, this and that. But I'm like, yo, I just need to learn it again. I have to do it by myself. And I do believe that this will give me more time to take more practice exams. And if I was getting a 79 on those practice exams, I know that if I keep doing that for another week or two, I'm going to be getting 85, 90, 95, and eventually I'm going to be getting every single question right. Because your brain it's going to be obsessed. You have to become obsessed with it. Anything you're doing, just be obsessed with it all day. That's just all you think about. If you can find something like that, if you spend your whole day thinking about that, it becomes a part of you. It reminds me of learning organic chemistry, of how it's a new subject, so absorbing it is a lot. I'm going to make more videos on real estate eventually on a separate channel. Maybe if there's enough people watching it, wanting it on this channel, I'll make it on this channel. Leave a like if you found this interesting. Or leave a comment. I want to know what you guys think, who you guys are, if you relate in any way. I've been getting a bunch of comments, you know, about the empathy videos. I'll make more stuff on that. I just wanted to make this random video about how I'm feeling today, because I got to do this whole course over again. And I could be discouraged and be like, fuck this, man. But time's going to fly anyways. I really want to do this, so I'm going to do it. If there's something that you really want to do, whether that's passing your electrician's test, MCAT, law school. I know the bar exam's hard. This is similar in the sense of like contracts, agency laws. So I can compare it. Obviously, it's not as hard as the bar exam, but if you're comparing it subject-wise, it feels the same as what one of the people working there say. Thank you. If you like this video, let me know. Love you guys.